'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the insurgents' base an Outrider was running, freezing everything in its place. Its cold snap was supercharged, its pax tree chosen with care, everything synergizing well as it tackled Dr. Detonator's lair. This lone Outrider melted everything in its path, finishing Boomtown in 3 minutes 23 seconds. You just have to laugh at the secret combination of gear and mods that fit together to make this awesome build. Let's get into it. This build is built around one simple concept, buffing Cold Snap to deliver maximum damage and reducing its cooldown to a matter of seconds. The damage of Cold Snap comes through two mods, Ice Baby, which deals damage to frozen enemies, and Icicle Storm, which makes enemies explode on death when frozen by Cold Snap. The damage of Ice Baby does scale with Anomaly Power, but Icicle Storm does not. To maximise my damage output, I am buffing Anomaly Power through my class tree and mods, and through debuffs, including one that might surprise you. The class tree picks up all the available Anomaly Power buffs, as well as Resistance Piercing, which I'm double dipping on with Unstoppable Force, and Wipeout, the perfect execute skill. Skill Life Leech provides survivability and buffs my Anomaly Power further through the Pax Node Override. Anomaly Echo, Alchemical Mastery, and Death Renome deliver additional buffs, increasing my Anomaly Power by nearly 40% from its base, while To the Bone buffs the damage output of all of this, and Long Winter allows Cold Snap to cover most of the map. Anomaly Power my gear, along with Status Power to increase the effect of Alchemical Mastery, is a must. I'm also picking up all of the anomaly buffs in my Ascension points, along with damage to elites. Debuffs come in the form of vulnerability that is applied through exposing Toxin and exposing Frost, through debuffs to frozen enemies through Fracture, Freezing Boost, and Shatter, to enemies afflicted by Toxic through Virulent Compound, and to elite enemies through Captain Hunter. This is an Anomaly Power build, so it might come as a surprise that I'm using 3 pieces of the Borealis Monarch gear set for the 50% debuff to frozen enemies from its gear set bonus. This is a firepower gear set, so not one you might have thought of using, but the lost anomaly power is more than offset by the additional damage enemies take. That covers how Cold Snap can deal so much damage, but how am I getting it to proc so quickly? Cooldown reduction through my class tree and on every piece of gear is a good start, but this only gets the cooldown on Cold Snap down to 7.1 seconds. The magic ingredient that allows me to spam Cold Snap comes from the pack skill tree. Hastened Influence is the potential to reduce the cooldown on Cold Start to nothing, particularly when it is activated in a crowd of enemies, applying status effects to all of them. Blighted Rounds adds another status effect application to my arsenal, as well as activating the buffs from Alchemical Mastery and To the Bone, as does Cryo Turret with Twins. I am also running Stigmatize as my primary weapon, and Proliferation to aid in applying status effects, albeit neither of these are critical to the build. Noxious Spawns would be another good one as it spreads Toxic more widely and also deals damage. Weakness Trap could start some great chain explosions, as could Icebreaker or Ravenous Locust, while Anomaly Mutation could be a good way to trigger status effects and the cooldown reduction of Hastened Influence. With this build, weapon damage is not a big source of damage, and so you do have a lot of flexibility as to which weapon you use. The main thing you should be going for is something that keeps up Blighted Rounds, and it can apply status effects as widely as possible, albeit having status power and skill life leech on it will make it an even better stat stick. Saying that, Burrowing Charge is a nice way to buff my damage output on single target elites where this build is not as strong. The Arbiters in the Trials, for example, 250% of my anomaly power hits very hard, and so I can put out some good weapon damage because of this. I also swapped to this Emerald Chaos for the Arbiters, as I found that Fortress helped to keep me up through their AoE damage phase. I'm also running the ultimate AoE weapon nuke in this double gun, with Clip Combustion, Radiation Splash and Moaning Winds. I don't use it often, but it is a great way to take down elites in a pinch. My build is far from optimised at this stage, but as you can see it still works really well for expeditions. I am carrying 3 dead mods on it currently: Party Starter, Dun Dun Bullets and Sharp Eye, which I will look to replace when I get the right gear drops. Mods that I would recommend that you use instead of these would include Power Assimilation, Danger Close, Painful Chill, Increased Damage, Hell Shot, Euthanizer, or Radical Therapy. These can be incorporated into the build with the following gear. If you like the idea of an AoE build, then do check out this video here. With it I've been able to run even quicker times than expeditions, so don't be a Grinch and miss out.